All right, here we go. Thanks for joining us tonight. I just wanted to share a little bit about something that was introduced to me a little over a year ago that has pretty much changed our lives. I have a daughter I have two daughters. One of them was born with a condition called hydranencephaly. Basically, she suffered a stroke in utero, which caused the development of her brain to stop. So she is missing her cerebral cortex, most of her frontal lobes, and all of her temporal lobe. We have done numerous things over the last decade, just trying to give her the best quality of life that we possibly can. We switched to a more holistic approach with her. We do frequent chiropractic care. We have controlled her seizures for the most part through nutrition. Fortunately, we've been able to keep her off of a lot of medications just by changing her diet up and avoiding the medications in general. But about a year ago, we were introduced to the LifeVantage products, and Mackenzie started taking I think at the time it was Nerf 1, Nerf 2, and the probiotic. She's very picky about what she drinks, so we attempted to introduce Axio to her, but she was not having it. I think that was in July of 2017, and around August we decided to try mixing the Axio in her food. She wasn't a huge fan of it, but we got it in her. In October of 2017, we started to see incredible improvements with her. She was more focused on everything. Her attention span was longer. She was just much more aware of her surroundings, and her abilities started to improve. So Mackenzie is in a wheelchair and fully dependent upon somebody to care for her 24/7. She's never had the use of her hands. In October, she began to use her hands. It started with her para at school asking her to touch her arm, and she did it again and again and again. Since then, so we're about a year and a couple of months in now, she is using communication switches to answer yes and no, to make choices. She's sleeping better. Her inflammation in her body seems to be significantly reduced. This summer we were able to do so much more than we've been able to do over the last several years, just because she was uncomfortable and not happy about having to sit in her wheelchair. So that's huge for us. It's like a whole new life, being able to go out and do things for longer than 20, 30 minutes. Even going to church was an issue because she just wasn't comfortable enough to stay quiet and enjoy it. Now it's one of her favorite things. She is happy. She sings along in her own little language, and she enjoys life. I mean, we've improved her quality of life in ways that I personally didn't ever expect to see happen with her. We recently had an evaluation with some people that have been coming. We've been seeing them for over 10 years now, and they focus on a more holistic approach for therapies. So they focus on all areas of development, and then they build on the child's or the person's abilities by developing a specific program that is taught to the parents. It's very intense. It's a lot of work, but it's paid off. She's slowly moved up on their developmental charts. We had been at a standstill for about 4 years up until 2-3 weeks ago, the last time that they were here, and she moved up in the area of understanding. She's now at a level 6 of understanding, which is mind-blowing. She, again, does not have her cerebral cortex or her temporal lobe. So truly, she shouldn't be able to understand or process anything that is being said to her. And yet she is making choices and communicating to people, which is crazy. So she is my why for LifeVantage, and the reason that I'm so passionate about sharing this stuff. There's just so many people around us who are looking for a way to improve their quality of life, and I feel like we have an answer in our hands that we need to share with other people.
Awesome. So I'm Dr. Jess, and I'm a chiropractor, and I also do a technique called NATE and acupuncture as well. And I'm a distributor with LifeVantage. And like Desiree, I have found more passion with this company coming from the results that it yields. And I actually partnered with this company originally because of the research behind the products. And Desiree was one of the very first people that I shared this with, not only for Mackenzie, but also for herself. So what I'm going to do is just basically explain the different products on the science level, the science and the research behind the products. And when, like Desiree said, when they started, they had what they called activated essentials, which we still do. That's 3 products: Protandim Nerf 2, Protandim Nerf 1, and Physique ProBio. And Omega Plus was not added until later on, which Mackenzie was taking a good Omega as well, just from a different company. So she had the same benefits of these products, but this is what she's taking now, and also what Desiree and I both take. And it's called the Vitality Stack. And what we see when we take these 4 products is a reduction in oxidative stress, a boost in our mitochondrial function, an improvement in energy on the cellular, mental, and physical levels, improvements in our microbiome, our gut health, in our immune system, our brain function, and also our heart health. Really, there isn't a system in the body that isn't impacted by these 4 products. So, as Desiree mentioned with Mackenzie, trying to find this holistic approach where you're finding multiple ways to influence the health or the quality of life of a person is a huge thing, So, and for me as a healthcare practitioner, you're always looking for ways to do that from a natural standpoint, from a way that doesn't have side effects or doesn't create anything negative in your body. So I'm just going to kind of back you up a little bit and talk to you about some of the first research that got me interested as far as even starting to do research, and that was with an ABC Primetime investigative report that aired in 2005 on our flagship product. So our flagship product is Protandim NRF2 Synergizer. And in 2003, we had 1 peer-reviewed published study and one U.S. patent on the product. And in 2005, this ABC report aired, and it started a flurry of research and attention, followed by many universities and major institutions doing their own research on the product. And the reason why this report was done is because our company had the claim that we could reduce oxidative stress load by 40% in 30 days in every mammal, every human. And that's never been heard of. When they started doing research on free radical damage, which is what causes cellular damage at the cellular level, which is seen in even just simply aging, that wear and tear of our cells, but it's also elevated in every symptom, condition, or disease. And so when free radical research began being researched in the 1950s, And since then, there's been research study after research study trying to find something that could reduce this accumulation of free radical damage, which is also known as oxidative stress. It's an imbalance where we produce more free radicals than we can neutralize based on what we're putting in or what we're producing. So the company began as a retail sales company, and Protandim Nerf 2 was found on shelves in GNC and Walgreens and so forth. And pretty soon, the company was darn near going broke by 2009 because nobody knew what a Nerf 2 synergizer was. There was no other category of products that fit in that category. It was its own category, but no one really knew what that was. So they hired a marketing advisor, and he suggested they'd move it to direct sales. And the founder of our company, the one who had done the science behind it, said, that sounds like network marketing and I'm not interested. So they did a 6-week trial, and direct sales won by 300%. And so since then, this company has been in a direct sales company where you buy directly from an independent distributor, which has actually been to its benefit. The company is publicly traded on NASDAQ and has over 100 years of combined corporate leadership in network marketing as well. So what's the big deal about our Protandim Nerf 2 Synergizer is, again, that we can lower oxidative stress by 40% in 30 days. This supports our natural cell repair and rejuvenation processes. We also have a study that showed that we are the only product to increase lifespan, to actually be anti-aging. The company did not fund that. That was funded by the National Institute of Aging. We are a low dose of 5 all-natural components that all independently minorly affect the activation of the Nerf2 pathway, but when combined together in the exact proportion that we have, we get an 1,800% increase in their effectiveness. And this power of synergy is what makes our product so powerful. It's not because it has so much of everything in it, it's because the blend allows for that synergy. So what happens when we take this cellular activator is that within every cell there's a protein messenger called NRF2, nuclear erythroid-like factor 2. And when we activate the cell, that protein messenger, NRF2, attaches to our DNA and it causes an expression of certain genes. Over 200 genes are estimated to be affected, but one of those genes is our body's ability to produce its own antioxidants. And when we activate this pathway, we start producing them at a rate of 1,000,000 to 1 every second. So think about that, right? You've heard of antioxidants. You know they're good for you. I mean, they're added to everything. You can't walk down an aisle and not see something that has antioxidants added to it, right? But you cannot possibly eat 1,000,000 every single second, right? But if you can activate a pathway in our body that's already there to do that mechanism, that's where we see the beauty of this product, is really just activating something that was already there, that used to be functioning at a high capacity and now is turned off or turned down for whatever reason. These are some of the universities that have done peer-reviewed literature on our product. We have over 20 peer-reviewed studies available in PubMed at pubmed.gov, which is where doctors do their research. We're supported by the American Heart Association, the American Cancer Society. We've been featured in so many journals, some that have never featured a supplement, including the Circulation by the American Heart Association. This was the first natural product ever featured in that journal, ever. And we've all heard of research on omegas, you know, as far as being good for heart health. And how about CoQ10 or B vitamins? There are so many, but none of those had a study that made it into circulation. The very first one was on Protandim Nerf 2 Synergizer. So this is very cool. We have 7 US patents, which are specific for their purposes: anti-inflammatory, detoxification, and so forth. You look at those US patents, you'll be blown away. Featured on many television shows as well. So the first problem is obviously oxidative stress, and that's what our Protandim Nerf 2 Synergizer addresses. And that is something that is prevalent in every person. But it's even higher in someone with a symptom, condition, or disease, because oxidative stress is linked to many of those. Protandim Nerf1 Synergizer, though, is our second product, and it addresses a problem called mitochondrial dysfunction. So when we take this product, we see an improvement in our performance because we see our energy levels increase from the cellular level to the mental level to the physical level. We see an increase in mitochondrial repair, mitochondrial replication, and ATP production. So we have these 5 natural components, again, very low doses, that they minimally activate our NRF1 pathway, but when we put all 5 together, we get an extreme amount of synergy where we activate this pathway even at a higher rate than we would otherwise. So with this product, again, that NRF1 protein messenger is within every cell. We activate the cell. NRF1 attaches to our DNA, and that's where we see the magic. We turn on the gene that helps us make more mitochondria, repair the broken down mitochondria, and make more energy. So who doesn't need more energy, right? Third problem is an unhealthy gut or a leaky gut. And we kind of overlook our gut, really. So many people are really just, they think about their gut only about, whether they can have a bowel movement or they can't. And definitely our gut is important for digestion and, more importantly, absorption of our food and the nutrients from our food. But it also provides for communication between our brain and our gut to signal when we're full, to help us produce neurotransmitters, serotonin and dopamine, to give us 70 to 90% of our immune function, and so much more. But what makes our probiotic different than other probiotics are 2 patented technologies. And one is our BioHACK lining, which allows it to bypass our stomach acid and get deep into the small and large intestine where we need it to do its job. And with this technology, we have a 60% survival rate, delivering 15 times the bacteria to the gut than other products. The other thing that's in our probio that makes it different is Wellmune. Wellmune is yeast beta-glucans that are found in colostrum, or a mother's first milk. And so this is an added immune boost, along with acting as a prebiotic to give food for those probiotic. So when you put the probiotic and the prebiotic in your gut at the same time, the good bacteria eat that prebiotic, and that really helps them to start colonizing and doing their job. So very powerful probiotic. The fourth issue is fatty imbalance. And we all have heard the benefits of omega-3s, from anti-inflammatory to nervous system development, affecting our brain, our heart, our skin, our immune function, pretty much every system. And the reason is these omegas become incorporated into every single cell membrane. And we want our cells to be fluid. We want them to be like you would think of a fat, right? Squishy and receptive, communicating well, allowing for elasticity in our heart, for receptors in our brain to communicate at a higher level. So this has omega-3s, EPA, and DHA, along with omega-7 for metabolism and weight management, and D3 for mood, and so much more. So there's a lot of good omegas out there, but this omega is very good, and it's pure. We know that if you're getting a junk fish oil, if you're getting a cheap fish oil, you're getting a junk fish oil, because fish oil are commonly toxic. They're commonly already oxidized, creating even more of that cellular damage we talked about at the beginning. And they're commonly rancid. They're like a stinky fish because they're not purified. And so with our product, we know that they're 100% traceable from the boat to the bottle, sourced from Alaskan pollock and Norwegian cod. And so very pure product. My kids love to chew these. It's not a chewable form, but they love to chew them and love the taste of them. So that's a good sign that your fish oil is of high quality, when you can chew it and the taste is still good. It's that pure. So those 4 products make our vitality stack, and Axio is the 5th component, the power of these 5 things. And these are the 5 things that my husband and I and our 4 kids take every single day. And this is Axio Smart Energy. And this is what it really does is it's a powder, you add it to water and you drink it. And because of its delivery system, there is some instant effect and there's also some longer term effect. But it helps the neurotransmitters in your brain to get to the part of the brain that they need to go to. So it fits in the category of energy drink because it has B vitamins in it, but it's not just B vitamins. It's magnesium, it's L-theanine, it's DMAE, it's these brain activating chemicals that make such a huge difference in our mental endurance, our acuity, our concentration, our memory, our ability to recover from stress, to deal with fatigue and brain fog and improve our mood. Such a big deal. There's a decaf and a caffeinated version, and it's a very clean formula flavored with stevia. So really, things are moving in this technology-driven age, right? Everybody wants to be able to do things in their own time, to do it quick, to access it from your phone, to not have to think about it, not have to be able to go to a brick and mortar store. So with this company, we're able to cut out the middleman, but also make it technology friendly, where you can order whenever you want and not have to pay somebody in between. This company is just getting started. Like we said, the first study was published in 2003, that ABC was aired in 2005, and here we are at 2018, right at that. We're getting right into that momentum phase, that early time frame where no one has really heard about these products, but yet they are definitely a medical breakthrough. To join the company as a distributor, you buy a product that you then would be able to use, because it's pretty hard to sell a product to somebody that you've never put in your body. So as a distributor, you buy the product. One time you buy a bundle of product, you get to use the product, and you get other things that come with that. And then after that, you just buy what you want. So this slide was one that made a lot of sense to me when I was first looking at the business. And I really didn't look at the business until I was in this company for about 6 months. And so now I can explain some of this, but this was one big part for me. And it was looking at the traditional plan, right? We go to school for so long, we work for so many years, and then hopefully at some point we'll be able to retire and enjoy our golden years. And yet there's 95% of the population that cannot retire, that do not and are not able to enjoy their golden years, whether it's because they cannot financially or whether it's because their health is not in a state that it's not very golden by that time. And with LifeVantage, we have this other option of going to school still, and then also earning some money while we're learning, and then potentially having more of our life to live, because we have the ability to produce residual income, which is something, if you've never heard of, I would love to explain to you as well. So the other thing is that, you know, coming from a family of, well, soon to be 7, you know, there's this other thought of having another stream of income as well. You know, just thinking of that thought that you don't want to think, but you know, what if something happens to your spouse? You know, would your spouse be able to provide for themselves and your children? Or same thing for me, if something happened to my spouse, could I provide for my children in the same way? And so it is an investment in time and effort and in every way to have a second source of income, but it's definitely worth it. So I'm going to let Desiree kind of wrap us up here, but I want to also just kind of give that disclaimer that we don't claim to treat, prevent, or diagnose any symptom, condition, or disease, but we do know that when we take these products, right, when we take these products, we reduce our oxidative stress load, we increase our mitochondrial function, we balance out our gut health, and we improve our fatty balance. And when we have those things, and our neurotransmitter function with our 5th purpose there, but when we improve all those things, a lot of times you're going to see resolution in symptoms, conditions, or disease. That doesn't mean we're treating those symptoms, conditions, and diseases. We're trying to get to the underlying root cause of these issues to help people activate their bodies, to biohack their bodies to a better state of health. And that really is our goal, is to just share information with you where you can, get more interested in the research and the science, and see a potential for a healthier version, a better version of yourself.
I agree. And that's truly why I decided to share it. I know that there are so many people in the world that are looking for answers to improve their quality of life, or maybe they have a loved one who's struggling with something and they are looking to improve a loved one's quality of life. So there's a couple of ways that you can get involved and start biohacking your body. You can start as a customer, where you just purchase the product and use it for yourself to improve your body, improve your health, your family's health. Or you can become a distributor, and while you're using it for your own family, you can also share it with others and help to improve the lives of more people. Or maybe this isn't for you at all, but you might know somebody who could use the information that we have shared tonight. I know that I'm grateful that this was shared with us. I know that we were struggling trying to find new ways to improve Mackenzie's quality of life, and I can say 100% that she is a completely different person, and I feel like the rest of my family, my husband and my other daughter and myself, have also improved our quality of life as well with the products. We're sleeping better, we have more energy, we're just overall healthier and better humans, I guess, So get back to the person that invited you onto this, and let them know if you want to get involved in one way or the other. It's a bug on my computer. Where did you come from?